You're now tuned in to another official episode of Untrapped the Podcast, and today we got a very, very, very special guest. Very honorable, sturdy dude, man. He goes by the name of BJ Duke, whatever you want to call him. You know, I'm gonna let him introduce himself to y'all, and we're gonna get right into it. But first, I want to let y'all know that this man come here from dealing with a lot of pain and trauma. He just did 15 joints, been home only 150 days, and progressing way faster than a lot of people out here. But we're gonna get in his story and we're gonna get it out there and let him know why he untrapped. So we're gonna start with your childhood, bro. Let them know how you came up.
All right. First, excuse me if it sound a little funny on here. This is the first time I heard my voice in my ear, man. This is a little funny. You heard me?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a little funny. Yeah, so and it's my first time talking into a microphone.
Damn.
You heard me? Yeah, this is the first time I ever spoken to a microphone. So about my childhood, man. My fault.
Nah, you good? Right there. Yep.
Yeah, my childhood, man. My childhood, it was good, bro. It was mainly my mom. You know what I mean? My mom was my foundation. And it was my brother. And that's what it was. I come from a family, we tight, we small, but my mom kind of branched off, and that's what it was for a minute. Early. So it was when I grew up. And shout out to Sussex County, man. A lot of people don't know that, but that's where I was born at. I was born in Georgetown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My mom is from Savannah, Georgia. My pop from that area. My pop from Georgetown area. So that's where I was born at, and so we just moved around a lot. That type of way.
Got you.
Yeah. So my childhood was it was a regular childhood. Moved around, live with your mom, that type of childhood. My father he wasn't around.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say coming up back then? Where I would say like, what era did you come up? Like what like the 80s?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm born in '83.
Okay.
Yeah.
83. Boom. So
Mm-hmm.
between the 80s and the 90s, that's really the start of the house with this single mother, correct?
Yeah.
So, like,
absolutely.
the first stages of that, how did that affect you growing up, getting into the streets? Whereas, as if, like, for me, my mom taking care of the house by herself, so it was no, like, once she go to work, I'm home, I'm scot-free, there's no control. So it's like, with you being the first stages of it and, like, seeing it firsthand, like, how did that affect you?
Well, like I said, bro, I was born in 1983. So, I'm 40 years old. I'm ready to turn 41. So looking at it from hindsight, that childhood was kind of, okay, it was the 80s. I was born in 83. So, it was that drug era.
Cracker.
Absolutely. It started this sheaf in. And, and that affected my life. My father and, my mother, thank God, my mother didn't do drugs. You know what I mean? Shout out to my mom. You know what I mean? Shout out to Mom Sheila. She held it down. But my dad did, and it was what it was.
Yeah.
And like a lot of families during that time, when your pop got high and whatever was going on, or if he went to jail, you came up like that.
Because it was either one or the other. He either getting high or he going to jail.
For those areas. You know what I mean? And that's another misconception. You know what I mean? That everybody was either getting high or, going to jail. Because it has always been a portion of us that did do the honorable thing, if that's what you want to consider it, going to work and, standing on, their foundation. So, but there are those that chose that path.
Gotcha.
Or was in those areas, those environments, bro. And that's what it was. And at the time, it was in certain environments. So if you was from those environments, it would affect you more. Not like today. Right now, with this heroin epidemic, it's affecting everybody. This trank is affecting everybody. It wasn't like that when we was growing up. It was in our areas.
Yeah.
Those concentrated areas.
And I feel like that's why they cracking down on it so harder, because
absolutely.
it's not just cracking down on black people. It's their kids. You know what I'm saying? It's their kids. And that's where everybody failed to realize with the abortion, like every abortion laws, drug laws, everything like that is happening because, like, if people look at the inside of it, bro, white people don't have a lot of children.
Mm.
You feel me? So it's like, who getting all the abortions? The white women. You feel me? So that's why they're trying to put an end to it. It's not for the black girl that got raped by her uncle or that don't want to have the kids. These little white girls getting pregnant in college and having abortions. They're not carrying on the lineages of these families. You feel me? Like the slave master family dying off. You feel me? The slave master family is dying off. The generation is ending right there at them last 40-year-olds. You feel me? So,
but and not to discredit that, because I agree with you, but it's not so much of a person. It's not so much of a lineage. It's more of a mindset, and the slave master mindset will continue. It doesn't matter if they personally can physically stop existing within the next couple of generations. That mindset has to stop. You understand? So that's you got to attack the mindset, and first you have to attack a mindset within yourself. And back to the childhood, that's where a lot of those mindsets and those foundations, those beliefs, those systems get transferred into the child at an early age. You know what I mean? Those traumas. So everybody dealt with them. At least I thought. But now as you get older, with hindsight, you realize that's not the case. Everybody ain't deal with what we dealt with. You know what I mean? Not everybody come from a family that's broken, where a woman, and as strong as she is, because women are strong, and women have been doing this since the beginning, but she shouldn't have to do it by herself. And there has been certain drugs, shit that we chase, and we got to come back to us. It's the things that we chase as men, or have been placed in front of, or programmed to believe that we on point with it, but and it affects the child, and I dealt with it. And growing up, we ain't have a lot. I remember, everybody got clothes during, Christmas and all that. That's not what's going on in every household. So, that builds a certain resentment, and having less, especially not understanding why. You know what I mean? So, that plays a part.
absolutely. So, you growing up, you coming up in the 80s and everything, and life is happening. So what would you say your first introduction to the streets was?
First introduction to the street.
Well, let me say this. The first introduction to the street that affected you, that really played a part in your head, like, I'm intrigued by it.
Oh, it was hearing it first, and seeing it. Hearing it and seeing it. Not truly understanding that you're seeing it, but hearing it. Music and seeing money. And the first time you realize that you don't got a lot of that. You know what I mean? The first time you realize you ain't got a lot of money, and that was early in life. You know what I mean? Like, you realize early that you ain't got a lot of money. Especially if you got a little bit of wits with you. That it's easy to understand that. You know what I mean? So, once I realized that, you got to get some money. And, we used to have paper food stamps.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember the paper food stamps?
Nah, we always had a card,
the
bro. I
EBT
never
joint.
seen them joints, bro.
Oh, see, yeah, I'm showing my age right now. Yeah. For those that remember the paper food stamps, you know what I mean? These come in the little flap joints. That was the first time, I had some money I thought was some real bread. Because, my mom, yeah, look at the food stamps. Colorful. It looked like a Monopoly money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's, that's back in the day that's for the old heads that's tuning in.
Because, like, sometimes, like, it's both ways. Like, if you a head buster, if you a money getter, because back when y'all was coming up, it was divided. The robbers was the robbers, the get money guys was the get money guys, and then you had the shooters, then you had the killers. So it's like, with me, I wasn't intrigued by the murder, I was intrigued by the money. You feel me? So, like, after my first play, it was over with. Like, I caught a high. Like, some people, when they do their first drill, they catch a high that they chase. With the money, I caught a high. And ever since then, it was like, it was like a high you just chase forever, you know? Because like sometimes it's like people always be like, oh, why this person didn't expand or why this person didn't become a bigger level. Like you got some people that have like Memphis Bleak said this line that I always stuck by me, and he said it in a 1-800-HUSTLER. He was like, "I know you got a brick, but sell them 20s till they tired." Sometimes you just infatuated with that money, bro. You got a brick, you can wholesale the brick and make this, but it's just something about that high. Every 20, each J guy is just something about the high, you know. So it's like, and then it's just on the other side with it, like somebody, like when that bullet hit that flesh, it's something that it do to you, like a high that it give you a guy like Molecule feeling that people is addicted to. So it's like it's different parts in the street that intrigue people. You feel me? It's just I know that was my way.
Hey, bro, you asked me a question, and you would ask me, when was the first time I basically came off the porch?
Yeah.
And I gave you an answer.
Yeah.
That was the truth. Once I realized I ain't had no bread, but I'm gonna tell you the first time I really came off the porch. This how it happened. Me and my little brother, and this is my little brother. We about 14. I'm about 14, so he about 12, 13. And we ain't got no money. And we already stealing little roaches out the ashtray, so we already smoked. So we like, yo, man, you know, my man, crib, my brother, he 12. So he in the car smoking. I walk up on him, smoke. Yeah, you know, my man left his house open. We the dude that drive the truck, we done been in there already. Yo, let's go in there later on that night. Because we ain't got no uncles. It's me, my mom, and my brother. I didn't come from a family where my uncles was here. You know what I mean? They wasn't in the streets. My uncle's not in the streets. You know what I mean? It's me, my mom, and my brother. You know what I mean? At this time. Matter of fact, so the way I got on, the way I came into the streets was taken. Because it wasn't nobody to give me nothing. Ain't no uncle say, here, take a pack. You understand what I'm saying to you? And it be like that. So you like, all right, so what you ready to do? So we came in, we went in that house, we stole shit out of that house, took it, sold it with some hustle, and went and got a pack. But and that's how I started.
Got you.
You know what I mean? But you wanna know what we did with the money after that? We went and got a gun. And and that's what was going on. You know, like and because after a while you said, and I understand what a lot of these kids going through because I went through it, especially ones that seem like it ain't a lot going on. And I still went to school. All F's. In school for nothing. At a point, nothing. Going to school 14, 15, nothing. Not really caring about life, bro. And I understand what these young boys is going through. Like, I get it. And you know. And as you get older, you progress with it. You know, because you know the game continues to evolve, and as you get older, you continue to evolve.
But like, I feel like what you just said hit a point. The game evolved. I'm glad you said that because a lot of people say the street is over, or they'll say trapping. I don't think nothing is over, nothing like that. It evolved. It was different. So like now it's like you gotta. Everything went up a percentage. So it's a 75% chance of Cody gonna tell on you. It's a 75% chance you might get back. Everything just went up, I feel like. And it's like, now, it is no more segregated groups. You're gonna have to be with all of it. You feel me?
If you still chasing, and I don't like to say chasing, but if you still truly infatuated with the street life, if that's still, you feel like that's your calling, if that's your mark, you got to understand it's going to be, everything got laws, cause and effect. What you put your time into, what you going to put your energy into, you're going to get it back. So if that's the only avenue, because some brothers, that they feel that's the only avenue. You know what I mean? And sometimes, that's what it is. But if you put your energy into it, you can get that energy back. You know what I mean? Whatever you give out, you can get back, man. So you gotta start building yourself, bro. You know what I mean? You gotta start getting you. And sometimes it takes us a little longer. And I wanted to say, I appreciate you letting me come on here and talk with you, man. Because you 23 and you got it early. And yo, listen, man, I've been home 150 days. I've been home 150 days. I just did 13 years.
On a 15-year joint.
Oh,
And we're
yeah.
gonna get into that.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into all of that.
But I'm saying this to say, I didn't even know this was a thing, brother. I didn't know brothers around the area was doing this. You know what I mean? Like, I've been under a rock for a minute. But, I'm proud after I've been seeing what's going on, really looking into you, seeing what's going on, and getting an opportunity to talk. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So can you walk us in the steps of how you caught your 15?
Oh, yeah, man.
Come up closer. There you go.
Yeah,
You don't got to go into full-fledged details, but key points and boom, and then we're going to get,
Yeah.
This educational purposes only, bro.
Absolutely. Okay, well, educational purposes only. For educational purposes only, I'm going to tell the story. Now, I'm going to skip past a lot, because I was a little older when I caught this case. I wasn't a young child when I caught this case. I was 26. Yeah, I was already a mature adult. I knew what I was doing. You know what I mean? I had a full understanding of what I was doing. Now, at that time, I'm not in my right mind. I'm popping Xannies and perks and the ring, the syrup. I mean, that's what's going on. That's what was happening at this time. And I'm trapping at this time. I'm hustling. That's when the dope and all that, right before, this is 09.
Yeah.
Yeah, my fault. Excuse me. This is 2009. This is before the heroin even really started to pop. Like, I was on one of them early waves. You know what I mean? So it was like, I was doing everything that a brother could do to crash out. You know what I mean? I was doing all the reckless nonsense for a brother to crash out, and that's what I did. And it come from greed, if I'm being honest, because when you start digging in that type of grind and you don't never see enough is enough, because you can get in that dog eat dog mentality, where it ain't nothing about you're not building, you're not being constructive, and when you're not being constructive, you being what, bro?
Destructive.
You being destructive, and not for a purpose. You just being destructive for the sake of being destructive. So you a hellraiser. That's what you are. You just a hellraiser. You know what I mean? And at one point in my life, that's what I was. Greedy. And I seen something, and instead of working for it, even if I was grinding, even instead of getting, I was gonna go take it, because like I said, I came in the game a taker, but I just had a mean hustle with me. Bro, you want to talk units? We done been there. Shout out to Woodside. You know what I mean? Like I said, I was born in Sussex. I grew up in Woodside. I earned my bones, around the area. You know what I mean? I pit, I'm around. And I still did my thing in school. I still went to school, but it was like trying to find a balance, but still, but it was a lot of nonsense, but with that right there, that's what it was. It was greed. And I decided to take from another man, his belongings, his possessions. Because at the time, I'm gonna say what my mind state was. This was my mind state, honestly. If I didn't know you, like if you wasn't day one, if you wasn't the guys, like you young boys say, if you wasn't gang, if you wasn't for the youngins, if you wasn't gang, it was what it was. I ain't had to respect it, and I ain't respect it. You know what I mean? And he had it, and I want it, and so that's what it was. And I don't mean to be so vulgar. I'm sorry.
Got to. Untrapped, brother.
Because I want the youngins to know that I feel how I done been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there. I know what it feel like to say I don't care. As an adult, but like I said, I was older. These kids ain't have a chance. And that's because I've been to jail a couple times. Before this, before the mind was developed, and they don't, through the system, you're not, pardon me. You don't get a lot through the system.
Absolutely.
Back then, The first time I went to jail, it was probably 2005. I was 20 years old. You know, it was for the first time I went to jail. Yeah, it was 2020. Now I was 20 years old. It was for assault on an officer. You know what I mean? Yeah, my fault. I don't mean it.
Nah, you cool.
Yeah, you know, because we was at it. You know, they had me boxed in. You know what I mean? And at the time, you know, like I said, and it was crazy because they was drawing for their gun. You're like, you know, it was just where, you know what I mean? Just thinking about some of the situations that, you know, I placed myself in and been able to be blessed to walk away from. You know what I mean, bro? And it's a real thing. So, you know, it's like, I'm telling the stories and I'm talking about it because I lived it, and I also got the scars to show it. And I'm not talking about physical scars. You know what I mean? I got the time in. Like I said, I turned 41 July 29th. You know what I mean? I turned 41. It's my first birthday home in, yeah, like 14 years, like we here. You know? All praise, man. All praise to the Most High, we here. But, I lost my train of thought, bro. I was saying something. I was going somewhere for real. You hear me?
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
Yeah, I was going somewhere.
Absolutely.
I was going somewhere, but I lost my train of thought because my birthday is coming.
Yeah, nah, that's lit, bro. Congrats.
Yeah. Listen. I want you to, look, man, come to the barbecue. I'm having a little barbecue. You know
I
what I mean? The
got
family
you.
gonna be there.
I got you.
My dude, so you know, yeah, come on through, man. You know, so back to what I was saying, man. I have a true understanding, and I failed myself. The system failed me because at the time it didn't lock in. And with the young boys these days, you know, it's like they're lining up to fail themselves, and the system is going to fail them as well. Because I seen the path. You know what I mean? Like, I know the end results of that drill.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 40. This is the end result of the drill if you survive it. And stand up, and you know, like I said, and I'm blessed because a lot of brothers, I got 15, a lot of brothers that really drill, and you know, and all that nonsense, bro, like, they going forever. You know what I mean? And I know good brothers in there that's going forever.
So let me ask you this: Did you go all the way, or did you sign for 15 years?
I signed for 15 years.
So what was your mindset going through? What was your mindset signing up to do 15 joints, bro?
This was my mindset. Again, I was a man. I was 26 years old. I had already lived this for real. You know what I mean? I had already stood on my 10 for real before I did this. I had already been through I did a 2.5 before that, another 2. I had already did time before that. You know what I mean? So I knew how the judicial system will handle you when they find you guilty. I've already seen, when I was 19, I watched brothers get 40 years and they still in jail when you come back. You know what I mean? So I already had an understanding of that. So when somebody's going to testify against you, and you know this, and you know you wrong, bro, you got to sign that plea. Because I played a little cat mouse game, but when my man showed up, because they show up, you got to know when you got to know when to gracefully bow out. And that's what I did. I gracefully bowed out. And you want to know what my plea was? You want to know what the plea? Because I played chicken with him. It was 8 to 75 years. I had to sign a PSI because, you know, they gave me an offer at 10, but everybody kept saying, yo, no, he's not going to come. He's not going to come. I'm like, he's not going to come. He, you know, like, nah, listen, I'm already in jail, you know. So I said, but I waited, but they come. Don't listen to them stories. You think you calling home, them brothers telling you they're going to show up, especially if they got cases or they're around, they're going to make them show up. So you going to beat it because, bro, they're going to show up. I'm telling you that. And that's what happens. But like I said, I already had understanding because I've been through it before. A lot of these young brothers, 18, 17, 16, they don't understand 15 years. Like I said, I signed a plea 8 to 75. I'm at the mercy of the judge with a background. I'm in there, yeah. But you know, mean,
My name is Brandon Wyndham, and I help people buy and sell homes here in Delaware. And I've been here all my life, and on this channel, we'll go over exactly what it's like living here in Delaware. If you are thinking of potentially buying or selling here in Delaware, I would love to have a conversation to see if it would make sense for us to potentially work together. I'll put all my contact info here on the screen and again down in the description.
So let me ask you this: coming in off the streets, because I don't really. I always look at me personally. I'd be like, I see other prisons and be like, maybe Delaware prisons is not as rough as this because everybody know everybody, or is this or that. So like, how is it when these gangster dudes coming in there, with these sentences and everything? Are they carrying it the same way they do on the streets, or is they getting their head popped, or what?
You know,
From the experience and the time you've seen, because you real honorable and notable about handling your business in the joint. You feel me? I heard that everywhere. So it's like, is it all being? Because I didn't get calls home like, yo, bro, this nigga that got punched on or he done signed on and all that. I'm like, what? He was the killer? Like, I'm confused. He's the killer dude. How he signed on? You feel me? So it's like, or is it one of them situations where, man, you'll just be surprised?
you know, when you spend the pardon me again, well, when you spend the majority of your life in that setting, don't nothing surprise you. I mean, don't nothing surprise you. Now, when you talk about the physicality of a prison compared to other prisons, and you got to understand, Delaware is a small population, and a lot of brothers meet each other in jail. It's a lot of okay. The juvenile system is a reoccurring thing into the adult prison. So if you can avoid the juvenile system, you got a better, like I said, percentage. Like he was talking to me earlier of avoiding prison. That, what I mean, it increases your opportunities. But you know how it is with African Americans in the population wise with percentages. A lot of us end up incarcerated when you talk about compared to other races in America.
Yeah.
So a lot of us end up in prison, especially if you're doing nonsense. That increases the chance for you to go to jail if you're doing nonsense. You know what I mean? So if you want to avoid this, because this is a flip side, if you don't get murdered or if you don't end up telling on everybody, this is the flip side. When you stand up, when everybody, because that's what everybody want to be. And it's easy to be stand up when you just starting out. Everybody stand up when you just start out. Well, when you 16, 13, 18, 19, 21, 20, you ain't really been in too much. Everybody stand up then. You know what I mean? Because when you really start getting into it and pressure start getting involved, with the outside, with the law enforcement, that's when you test that fire. And a lot of people don't stand up to it. So to avoid what I've been through, you gotta leave the streets alone. So it don't matter if you in there getting punched on, because don't nothing surprise you, bro. The toughest guys cry. The toughest guys be in there, whatever. But what I'm saying is, it can be avoided with the right mindset. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And shout out to you again, and shout out to the brothers, man, because with you this week, and through the lit organization, what's the other GVI, man. We was able to go speak to a lot of the younger brothers, man. I was able to come give back and give my story to brothers that really need it, because the people that need my story, they're not the brothers that's in college. They're the ones that's already in prison, 16, 17 years old. They need to hear that, listen, if you continue that, this is what you'll look like getting out of jail again. Like it won't stop until you start to change. But they need to see change, brother. And me and you and a couple other good brothers went in there, bro, and we helped facilitate change. They seen brothers that they could relate to, and they was willing to listen to us. And I know we getting long on time.
Yeah, we good. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So we went to the fair school, man, and these young boys is, I mean, they the ones that need guidance, man. They the ones that need the direction, need to be heard. They need to be heard because that's what this is, you know. And you know, we was able to go in there and listen to them because we ain't not talk to them. We was able to listen to them, and you seen what happened when we listened.
Absolutely.
They was able to resolve their own issue. You know what I mean? So don't be scared of them. We can't be scared of our children because you scared of them because that's not you, and that's the real problem. You know what I mean? You scared of them young boys because so many brothers, so many older brothers my age will say, I ain't dealing with them young boys. 23, 16, 18. They crazy. Nah, bro, they not crazy. You see yourself in them young boys, man. You know what I mean? See you in them. And the problem be the brothers that y'all don't consider, you consider real, don't see themselves in them. And that's why the help ain't really there. But we was able to go give back,
Absolutely.
And shout out to the brothers that that stood in that room. I don't remember all the names, everything been like a blur. But we was able to put some work in.
Did you ever expect to be doing all this coming home?
Bro, keeping it real, I was just happy to get a job.
Damn.
Keeping it real. Nah. I'm blessed. If I'm being honest, I'm gonna keep it all the way real. I prayed, bro, and I prayed a lot in prison because yeah, I am who I am, and I lived that life. But I prayed because you got to be a spiritual being. You got to have some connection with that, and I was able to keep that regardless of where I was at. And that's the true battle. It's not about no physical altercation because men gonna be men. Men can handle themselves. I don't care who you are. You ain't got to be thorough because you can fight. You ain't got to be thorough to bust. You got to be able to deal with yourself under turmoil. You know what I mean? And I was able to do that, because I stayed I was able to ground myself. And nah, I didn't think these opportunities would come like this. I never seen myself on a podcast. But what I did believe is I wanted to help. But I know I got to be here to help. So I said, I've been home 5 months. I've been working, doing whatever, and, connecting with the right brothers. And I didn't even know. And I'm from the area, but I've been out so long, I've been out the loop. I'm slow. I don't social media and all that. So when I'm hearing, listen, this guy's right around Dover, that's Simon Circle, man. Shout out to Worm, man. Shout out to the West Side. I heard you say, you from the West Side, KP.
Yeah, shout out to Worm. Free
man,
Worm.
Yeah, free Worm, man. Free the guys for real. Like, seriously, man. Because there's some stand-up guys in there that's really around. You know what I mean? And they care. It's brothers in the prison that care. You know what I mean? From the city, from Sussex to Kent, it's brothers in this, from OT brothers. It's brothers that's not even from here, that's inside the prisons that really care, that been around and know that we need reprogramming. Because that's what it is, if we being honest. You know what I mean? That's what it really is. We need a reprogramming.
Absolutely. So before we get out of here, I'm gonna ask you a question. What would you tell your 21-year-old? What would you tell your 21-year-old self, and what would you tell your 50-year-old self?
21. At 21. I'm gonna tell you what I was doing at 21. I was in prison. And when I came home at 22. And when I came home at 22, it was one of the best times for a guy my age. We had the units in. Well, anybody don't understand, that was a heavy drug time when I was about that age. You know? And I was involved in that. So what I would have told myself, because bro, honestly, at that age I seen more money than a lot of brothers would have believed, because like I said, shout out to Woodside, man. It's fact. I ain't got to really talk on too much of nothing. You know what I mean? But they was around, and like I said, and unfortunately, it's public record because brothers went to jail for it. You know what I mean? When I was 20, when I was about that age, I was involved in cartel work. Yeah, like that. You know what I mean? Like that, to the point where brother pick up a phone, look, you got to get rid of that phone because you done dropped some money off to somebody and they went missing all the way across country somewhere. Yeah, you got it. Oh my, no. You know what I mean? But yeah, and brothers done, and they done did time for it. You know what I mean? Brothers that know, older brother. So what I'd have told myself at that
Like with everything you know right now, like yourself right now, what would you
what
tell
I,
your
what I
21
told
girl? Yeah.
at that time, and that I'd have told him to save the money.
Yeah.
Nah, that's what I'd have told him for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have told him save the money. But for the and listen, man, stop. Because you only progress. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like the streets don't, when you start playing on certain levels, it don't slow down for you. It continues to progress. So whatever level you playing on, when you continue to play, like you go to jail and you come home, you level up.
Yeah.
But as the stakes get higher, the fall is steeper. You understand? And sometimes you can fall. And you ain't always got to die to fall. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to tell you what I deal with. And I've been home 150 days. Because I got a brother in jail. Shout out to Yanito. Shout out to my brother Yanni, man. You know what I mean? But I got a brother my little brother, he got 40 years. Because you lose stuff when you really a part of that life. You know what I mean? You lose things. You lose people. You know what I mean? It's a lot of loss. It's a lot of love because you can find you. And in prison, I found myself and I found a purpose. A lot of rappers said, turn your pain into passion. Turn your pain into passion. And that's what we on. Because my pain has been, my pain has been incarceration, and I'm passionate about helping the youth.
Absolutely.
And and like I said, man, shout out to Sussex, but it's a lot of work down there that need to be done. Everybody looking at Newcastle and Dover like that's the only areas. Nah, man, down Sussex it is gangs and they are shooting each other. I live in a community that's okay now. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing okay now. I've been home 6 months, and I'm doing the right thing because I'm not going out like no goofy. But I ain't never been a goofy, never, and I ain't going out like one. 40 years old, man. We still running back to jail, and you got to blame the brothers. It's us, because we'd come home and I want to be like you. If you was street wise on that level, you know what I mean. I want to be like you now because you sharp. But I'm saying on that type time, you feel me? Yeah, we come home, we want to be the young boys. Bro, my knees hurt. You know what I mean? At 40, you get arthritis and things of that nature. We out here trying to be the young boys. And we plan ourselves. We going back to jail 45, 46 years old. And I understand, because back in the day, everybody used to say, that's all we know, that's all we know. It's opportunities out here for us. That's all you choosing, because that's all your programming, that's all you allowing your program to be connected to. Because there's brothers out here that's offering us opportunities. I took a step forward, man. That's what this is. I took a step forward and was introduced to you through a good brother. Shout out to Cam, man. Shout out to the guys, man. And putting you in the right direction. Only thing you got to do is ask for help and show it. And I was able to podcast. I ain't never think this. No, never thought this was going to happen. But I did know I wanted to see change. So I know there was going to be a direction back to what you had asked me earlier. No, this is blessing. This is heaven sent.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But we definitely got to jump into part 2 to get more of your story and everything like that. We ran out of time tonight. We got to have somewhere they can find you and hear more of your story at, even if it's just jumping on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, doing a video every day, giving some motivational speaking or something, Like, they got to have somewhere they can find you at, bro.
Hey, listen, man, right now, honestly, I'm still trying to catch up now. I got a little emotional on Instagram.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But it's a spiritual, excuse me, it's Osun Yemi. It's 302. OSUNYEMI 302. And man, like for the brothers that's out here and doing the right thing, because there's brothers out here doing it. I met a brother named Coach Ron, Mr. Cook. They involved with these programs, man, that will help brothers coming home. They helping me. Young brother, what was from Wilmington, that's involved in that Leaders in Transition.
Aubrey.
Yeah.
Aubrey.
Yeah, it's a lot going on, man. And, so we appreciate it. And we'll be back with you.
Absolutely. And you can find me at Untrapped on all streaming platforms. Untrapped the podcast. That's one word. And until next time, free Jolly.
Yeah, free the guys, man. Like, seriously. Oh, my God. Yo, man, thank you for letting me go, too, man.